Dr. Kristal, we're privileged to have you tonight. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. And I am just so excited to see all of your faces here. I did put up a slide presentation just because I think us ladies are very visual and it helps when we can see things. And so what I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and I am going to share a little bit about my story as we go along. But I want you to know that even though it says DR in front of my name, it didn't just magically make me intelligent. I'm just a normal lady. At the same time, you could just call me Kristal. And I would love to sit down and have coffee with all of you, but you're going to have to go to Florida and I'm going to have to find my way there. Right now, I am in Utah, freezing to death. And I grew up in Wyoming and practiced as a functional med chiropractor there for 25 years, between Colorado and Wyoming. And a few years ago, I started, right prior to COVID, thankfully, I started to do business and health and wellness a little bit differently. And this is a part of that. And it started with my own mess. I like to say I turned my mess into a message. So, not that long ago, it was 10 years ago. Anybody else have one of those birthdays where yeah, I turned 40. Let's just cut to the chase. I turned 40 and went, "Oh my Lord, I'm a hot mess." I didn't like anything about myself. If I put it down on paper, I was like, this wasn't what I expected 40 to look like. And what am I going to do different on my way to 50? And I actually was looking forward at my mom and her health and her life because we're very similar in, genes and makeup. And I was like, well, like I don't want what she's got going on either. And so what am I going to do that's different? Or I'm going to end up being my mom. And she was AFib, had had an ablation, had no thyroid, had had it removed, hormones a mess, cholesterol meds, blood pressure meds, water pills. Her life revolved around this box of medicine. And I was like, I'm a functional medicine chiropractor. Like, I want healthy solutions. And yet my own family is going that way because we didn't know what to do. Like, I was doing all the right things and I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. And so 10 years ago, I was over 300 pounds. I have now lost more than I weigh. I've lost 160 pounds. Now, I want you to know this is not all about weight loss. This is about wellness. The problem was the only thing I was monitoring for my health was weight. And there's plenty of thin people walking around not healthy. I mean, there's thin people that die every day. And yet the only thing that I really at the end of the day cared about was what that scale said. And I ran my life by it. And so it all started with autoimmune issues, lots of steroids, didn't understand that a lot of the reason I was having issues was because my hormones were absolutely out of balance. And so I decided that I was going to do something different. I was going to focus on getting healthy. And if I just took one healthy step after another, if I found myself skinny, then hallelujah, flippin' hallelujah. I was just so tired of it. I had done every diet. I had even done, back in the early 2000s, a gastric sleeve surgery. I did it quietly because I didn't want anyone to know that I couldn't figure this out. And so because I did it secretively, I failed terribly at it because I didn't use the tool. I didn't eat like I was supposed to. And so all of a sudden, I went from this girl eating microwave broccoli with cheese sauce on it, that I eventually found my way into the produce section didn't even know, like, there was bags of broccoli cut up, and then I found out it had all kinds of chemicals on it. And then I found my way to just the big head of broccoli and cutting it up myself, to all the way to organic broccoli. And I became a vegetarian, well, vegan for 2 years. I am reformed. I still now need a little bit of protein. But what I share all that with you is I was willing to do the work. And I think many of us are. I think many of us we've done anything and everything, but nothing was a long-term solution. So what I want you to know is that 6 years ago, I finally started using the drops and using this program. It's just a tool. They're not magic. Okay. But I'm going to give you hope over the next few minutes, because what I found is I could get to the core reason that my body was out of balance in the first place. And since then, I have not just kept it off, I've actually continued to lose. It's the healthiest I've ever been. I feel the best I've ever felt. And guess what? I'm not broken. I thought there was seriously something wrong with me. And I would go looking and they would say I was normal. And I'm like, look, you can run that test again, because I'm not normal. There's nothing normal about what I'm going through. But yet every test would come back and say I was normal. So if you can relate to that story, I know that I can help you. But there's many, as you see here on the screen, all of these are symptoms of our body being out of balance. And weight gain is one of those, but being too thin is also. So the polar opposite of all of these things also are a part of this. So I might be craving food and my appetite is out of control, but you might be someone who forgets to eat. That's just as much an imbalance. You could be freezing all the time. That's just as bad as having night sweats. You could have eczema and psoriasis instead of acne. So what I want you to know is all of those are hormonal imbalance, and every cell in your body needs a hormone to function correctly. So when people see this slide, or when they see information about the drops, people raise their hand up, and you might be one of those today that was like, can I have more information? And so that's what I'm going to present to you. But I want you to know that it worked for me. And over the last year and a half, 2 years, we formed the Circle of Health community, because there's never been a time like right now where people are becoming advocates for their own health. And you're like me, you're like, I don't need my doctor to tell me I'm normal anymore. I just need someone to show me the way to go, and I'll do the work. So if that's you, you found home, and we'll dig in there with you and we'll figure it out, okay? Because not every person is the same, but 90% of the time the foundation is the same. So the company that you're going to hear about that has these drops is called Partner Co. They do business a little bit differently. It's literally 50-50 with this company. That's why I partnered with them. They don't tell me how to go out and tell people how to use the drops. They don't tell me. They let me be me. They also have over 80 different nutritional products. But what's really important is they hold a very high level of excellence. As a doctor, I didn't want to put my name on anything that there wasn't very strict guidelines, that things were not like, I wanted to make sure they were being tested, approved. Like, that when you go on Amazon and you choose your supplement with a 5-star review, you're at the mercy of marketing. Right? Because we go for the highest reviews in the middle of the road pricing, because we're not going to get the most expensive, but we're also not going to get the cheapest. They know that, right? And so they price the cheapest product with the middle pricing so that you choose the product that they have the most of. Nobody's guiding them. Nobody's doing any type of testing. The FDA doesn't, make you do it because supplements are in the food and drug. They aren't monitored. So those companies can say anything is in them. I needed to have a company that guaranteed what was in them was really in them. So Partner Co every product is physician endorsed. They're going through a global athletic council, a global wellness council, which Trazey mentioned. I sit on that board and I'm proud to. But we're publishing clinical studies. We're doing research studies. We're doing the quality tests. Everything is tested, proven, and guaranteed. So I want you to know that the raw ingredient is the most important piece here, but so is the manufacturing process. And so we don't just want to say, oh, it's got the best ingredients. I want you to know we literally lube the machines with vitamin E because we're not going to mess up something good in the bottling process. So you can be rest assured that when you order something from Partner Co, you're getting the best of the best. Okay. And we're going to continue to bring new products to market, nutritional supplements, because it's all about wellness, that are going to be the best for you. But the gateway product that we lead with is these drops you heard about. Okay. The reason why is because if we don't get you turned around in your quest for wellness, you're just continuing to put stuff from the outside in when really health is from the inside out. So we're going to work on the inside out, and we're going to do that by giving your body nutritional support for your endocrine system because every cell needs proper hormones to function right. So these drops are going to do just that over 90 days, not over a week. Okay. We didn't get here in a week. We didn't get here in a month. So I want you to look at this as though I'm going to order in what I need, and come January, I'm going to take the next 3 months and I'm going to make this about getting healthy. Okay. If you will follow me along here in the next few minutes, you'll understand why. So I could take these drops and I'll show you and tell you how to use them in a second. If I showed you how to use these drops, you could put it with any diet and you would get better results than if you were just doing the diet by itself. Because every diet is going to pull sugar out. There's not one diet out there that's like, hey, go eat Cocoa Puffs. Right? We know that that's a given. So you're going to pull sugar out anyway. But there's some more strategy to this. And if you put the drops with this low glycemic menu that we recommend, you will not, but this isn't a diet. Your body is going to start to respond differently. You're going to be like, wait, my metabolism turned back on. Like I'm losing weight on vacation. What is going on? Because this is nothing like you've seen before. We've got to the basics. So they're all natural. They're safe. They are effective. That means they work. They do not have stimulants in them. Your heart is not going to be racing. You're not going to feel like you're running a race. They don't have hormones in them. So if you're on HRT, if you're doing pellets, if you're can't have hormones from maybe estrogen issues or breast cancer in the past, it's okay. You can use nutrition. Okay. They are a natural GLP-1 stimulator. So for those of you who are familiar with Ozempic and Wegovy and semaglutide and how that had gone viral, it went viral because people got results, but it came with a lot of side effects, a very high price, and unfortunately some long-term problems. That paralysis of the stomach is part of how they work, and sometimes that doesn't come back. The other thing is once you're done using them, there's no long-term change. So if we don't change how you're living alongside of them, you end up right back where you were. And we've all done that. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to gain my 160 pounds back. I want to do it one more time and be done. So that's what you're going to find with the drops. What it basically is as its core is an insulin resistance reset. So just like you used to drink one glass of wine and get and feel a little tipsy, now it might take a couple glasses or a bottle. It's because you became resistant to alcohol. The same thing happens to insulin. The more sugar we have, the more resistant we become, and our body just starts storing it, not in our liver like alcohol, which gives you cirrhosis of the liver. It stores it in our fat cells, and it turns our hormones into an absolute disaster. Okay? So these drops, the first bottle is homeopathy, Chinese medicine, been around for centuries, absolutely incredible because of its formulation. It doesn't contraindicate with medications. I have people come into my office all the time with all of these ingredients, and I have to say, yeah, you can't use this with that medication. You can't use this with that medication. That's not the case with the drops. That's why I love them, is so many people can use them with your current regimen. And the likeliness is as your body comes back online, you're going to start to be able to reduce your dosage. But you and your doctor are going to do that, not you. Don't just go off your meds. Okay. I know you're going to want to, but don't. These drops are going to help to balance. They're going to help to curb your appetite, increase your energy. Who could use some more of that right now in this season? If, just so you know, you could order in the drops today. You could start using them today, even if you weren't perfect on plan, and you would start to see a difference in how you're sleeping, in your energy. There's so many benefits to the drops that are more than just weight loss. So you're not wasting them by using them. So start using them as soon as possible. All right. So you're going to see your metabolism start to change. Here was my favorite. My mood changed. You know, when you're so sick of yourself, like you're so grumpy, you can't even stand yourself. Yeah, been there. And you're like happy, sad in like 5 minutes. The drops make the difference there. Okay. But what I see the biggest change is how many of you have went and got your thyroid panels done expecting to be hypo or hyper, and they come back and that's where they say you're normal. And you're like, I knew it was my thyroid. And they're saying it's not. So the drops support your thyroid. They also support your adrenals. So if you're noticing cortisol production, we in the South, we call it busted can of biscuits. You know how you get muffin top where all that extra is like hanging over the top of your jeans and you're like, why? Why do I have to go jean shopping? That is from cortisol. It's called stress belly. We all have plenty of it, but it goes away really quickly when you support the adrenals. So be expecting great results with inches. The weight will come, I promise you, but it might take longer to see results. Don't let the scale be the only thing that is driving the success with the drops. So this is how simple they are to use. Are you ready? 10 minutes before you eat your meal, you put the first bottle underneath your tongue, put the drops under your tongue, let it sit there for a few seconds, 10 to 30 seconds, swallow. I set a timer on my phone for 10 minutes. Now, does it matter? No. Will you get better results if you wait the 10? Yes. Is it more important to get them in your body at some point in the day? Absolutely. 3 times a day, I need you to take bottle 1. First thing in the morning to bring your cortisol down, and then lunch and dinner. The second set of drops, you're going to use first thing in the morning and at lunch. And if you're needing a little extra energy, it has methylcobalamin, so it's methylated vitamins for anybody who's got MTHFR issues. And you could have an extra set of drops before 3 p.m. I don't want it to keep you up. It's called accelerate. Unless you need your closets clean, then go ahead and take it later and stay up all night. All right. So, they are incredible and they work, but the biggest thing they do is stabilize your blood sugar. So no more of the up down roller coaster. It's going to balance that out so that your body is feeling level. All right. Now, here's the only other thing we're going to do. We are going to pair it with real food, not space food, not junk, not processed sugar, living food. Living food. What is that? It is the food that's on the perimeter of the grocery store because it has to be plugged in or it spoils. So I want you to think about today and what you've eaten. How much living food that would spoil, have you eaten? A lot of times our food is so processed that we are surprised that we're eating food that's dead or fake, and then we're surprised when our health is going the bad direction. We need real food. So we're going to be eating lean protein, veggies, low glycemic fruits, and nuts and seeds, and drinking lots of water. We're eating like our grandparents ate. That's why they lived to be 100, because they ate real food, not chemicals. We're going to do this for 90 days. Now, does that mean you can't go eat out? No, you can go eat Mexican and find good food. It's just we have to eat with some intention, and we'll help you. That's what the Circle of Health is for, to come alongside you, give you recipes. But really, if you'll just shop the perimeter of the grocery store and stay out of the dairy section, because that all breaks the sugar, for 90 days, not forever, 90 days. And there's alternatives. You can use nut milks. You can use nut cheeses. There's so many things out there to help you get through these 90 days. But at the end of 90 days, you're going to start seeing some incredible results. So here you go. From Kristen, working out, not getting the results after having a baby. She started using the drops. She got her body back. And now she has one of the most, like, #1 gym in Tennessee. Or a busy mom of 6 who's at the ball fields. You guys, that is weeks on her belly transformation, because this removes visceral fat. But you have to use the drops and you have to eat on plan if you want to get the best results. Okay, so I don't want you to think that I'm saying, hey, these are magic. That's why you're not broken. You're going to do the work. But if you do the work, you're going to finally get the long-term results. And it's not just for women. Guys have hormones too. So pair up with maybe your spouse and say, I'm going to be cooking this way, so take these drops 3 times a day, honey. Squirt them into his mouth if you gotta, and see your guy's health totally change. It's so fun to watch couples do this together. Now, yes, that is 6 weeks on her belly. All of us want to lose our belly, but look at her face on the right. All the inflammation that came out. Think about how much money you're spending on skincare, yet you're going to get younger if you change what's going in the inside instead of what's on the outside. It does not matter how old you are. All it takes is time to get unhealthy. Look at these two. This is actually Tracy's daughter and son-in-law. Josh is a physical therapist. Incredible couple. Look at the change in their health. And here is me. So that really is me. And actually, I was 30 pounds heavier at my highest. I just didn't let people take pics. And aren't you tired of that? Are you tired of running from having family pictures done because you are going to lose 30 pounds before the next time you have photos done? Stop it. Your family will have no photos of you. They want to get in the floor and play with Nana and Grandma. You want to go live life with your family. I was just tired of being sick. I was tired of not feeling good. And I was tired of destroying my closet every morning trying to figure out what to wear. You guys, the picture in the black dress was 6 years ago. Clearly, I've kept it off. It's the first time I've ever kept it off. But I'm mostly proud that a little over a year ago, I'll try not to cry, because I'm super emotional when it comes to helping your own friends and family get healthy. That's my parents. And those bags of pills are the pills that my mom took back to the pharmacist because she doesn't need them. She's off 14 meds. Didn't happen overnight. Pre-diabetic and diabetic patients need about a year to turn their life around, but it's been a lifetime of not eating right, and you know it. We'll help you. We'll come alongside you. You don't really need our help. You're the one that's going to do the work, but you will want some encouragement. You will want some accountability, and we'll be there with you. So whether it's grief, stress, diabetes, high cholesterol, we're here. We'll help. And last but not least, menopause is awful. Oh my Lord, if those men knew what they got out of. We thought childbirth was bad. Wait till menopause, right? It's cruel. It's like cruel and unusual punishment. But you don't lose 60 pounds in menopause, you guys. There has to be something really special about these drops to lose 60 pounds in menopause. And Kyle smoked it in 5 months. 10 to 12 pounds is what people lose on average. But her best friend, 5'10", size 2, maybe size 0. I never would have told her about the drops. She's like, I have hot flashes where I'm soaking the bed. Give me these drops. Will they help? 3 weeks later, she's like, I don't have a 1. I don't have a 1. The hot flashes are gone. This is incredible. So, do you want your bodies back? The drops work, and we'll do it with you. So let's kick menopause to the curb, and it's pretty simple. The person who invited you, sweet Rhonda, you're incredible, lady. Thank you for setting this all up. And thank you for going out on this mission to tell everybody about the drops, because it's a big deal. I never expected that I would be able to do what I do. I can make one post in the circle of health and affect over 50,000 people's life. I was seeing one patient at a time, 50 a day, exhausted, overweight, stressed out to the max. And my life changed like that when I heard about these. And so now, just like Trazey shared it with Tanya shared it, and all of a sudden it's going boom, boom, and everybody's hearing about them. And you guys, we just have a lot of fun. We're a great community of people. We're enjoying life, and we're helping the next person. This is way better than a Starbucks pay it forward line. Okay. So if you want to really help a sister and a friend out, and then also help the gentleman out, I'm telling you, you are going to absolutely love the drops. So I just want to say thank you for coming on here. We wanted to keep this to 30 minutes. I said that I would open it up for questions. Does anybody have any? I have about 5 minutes for questions, but what I want to do is maybe, Rhonda, if we created either a text message group, or if you guys wanted to go over into the circle of health. Trazey, is there any way, could you post the link to the circle of health in the chat where people could to get in the chat? But I want you guys to know there's a way to get the drops at a savings. Even get them for free. Don't let your budget be the reason you don't get healthy. We'll help you get them one way or another. Okay. And then we're just going out there to tell as many people as we can. Tracy's like, I don't know how to share it in there. Whoever invited you can get you the link.
Could
And
you tell that by the look on my face?
yeah, you were like, Kristal, why did you say that?
Because I want
Oh,
to confuse
thank you.
her.
Tally got it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tally.
Okay, I see this. I'm taking metformin. Can I take it at the same time? You can. Just pay attention. So metformin is a blood sugar medicine for anybody wondering. You can absolutely use it at the same time. Just make sure your blood sugar doesn't drop too low. Do not go below 80 on your blood sugar. So monitor it. And we know when our blood sugar drops, we know that feeling. Kind of get a little lightheaded, can't really get your thoughts. It's like, where's my brain? That's great. The drops actually take the fog away. So just watch your blood sugar. She can't take the drops because she's antidepressants and can't mix ashwagandha. I'm not in agreement with that. I've got lots of people who use the drops that are on antidepressants. In fact, they typically are able to reduce the amount of antidepressant, but we're the ones doing the applicator. So she doesn't have to do the full dosage. She could start at a lower dosage. Bottle one is going to do the most work anyways. And she could actually order in Elite that I do not believe has ashwagandha. And it is incredible for a natural solution for an antidepressant if anybody was ever wanting to get off of a medication for that. Synthroid, no worries. That's one of the meds that my mother was on, having no thyroid. She was on thyroid med. In fact, she's on the lowest possible dosage that they can give her with no thyroid because everything is working like it's supposed to. We only need Synthroid when our thyroid it doesn't know how to work. But if we start to restore function, your body knows how to break down what you're giving it. So yeah, you're great with that. All right. Any other questions? No? Well, I want to do this again. Yes, make sure who referred you. If you're not in the group already, that would be wonderful. We'll make sure you can get in there. Hashimoto's, oh my goodness. No, it's absolutely wonderful. That's one of our probably number one reasons, because again, it goes back to the thyroid, right? And people going, I feel terrible. It's got to be my thyroid. Hashimoto's, for those of you who don't know, is an autoimmune issue that attacks the thyroid. The thyroid actually attacks itself. And we see great results because we can bring up and support the other endocrine organs. There's 9 in total. So your thyroid's just one. So if we can support the other 8, it takes stress off the thyroid. So Hashimoto's patients absolutely love the drops. You can go to the Circle of Health. There is a search glass. And if you type in a topic name, you'll see all kinds of posts regarding that topic. And Hashimoto's is in there a lot. I've been taking this for 2 months, 4 pounds. Should I see changes? Absolutely. Every person is different, but we can work with you to see. Maybe there's a tweak that you need more calories. Maybe you need more fat. Maybe you need to do less exercise. Maybe you got a lot of stress going on and we need to support the adrenals a little bit more. Maybe you're not getting enough water. Maybe we need to do some dandelion tea to help the liver process toxins faster, or maybe add Restorix. There's always an answer, and I'm glad you asked that question. Because this isn't, let me try these, they don't work. I'm telling you, they do work. We just have to figure out what your body needs for them to work the best. Okay? We'll get there. And as I said, no one gets there, right? You're not going to get there overnight, but 4 pounds, I want you to start looking at some of the other non-scale victories. And that's not like a push off. Like, are you watching your inches? Your body's changing in ways. Just what are the ways? Only want to lose 15. The last 15 are going to be the hardest. You guys got to be patient with that. Once you start, does the weight come back? I just explained 6 years later, I've kept it off. That's the difference. This isn't a diet. That's why we don't do that anymore. That's why we don't diet. That's why we have to change how we eat. We have to become aware that sugar is the enemy. If you go back to eating sugar, you're going to pull yourself out of balance. But here's the thing, I don't crave it for energy anymore because my body's using the hormones correctly. It's a total shift in your brain of being well. After 90 days, weight is met, then what food plan? It's maintenance. It's eating healthy. It's you know how you got there, and you'll start to crave eating those ways. You won't crave all the processed food anymore. That's awesome. I'm glad you've lost weight. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate someone coming in here with their success stories because there's so many in here as well, but it's easy to ask the questions when you haven't had massive changes. All right, I'm going to take one more question and then I have to exit. I apologize. I've got a hard stop. Yes, is it? I don't know how to say that. Dehi? Dehi? You've raised your hand. You're unmuted. Oops, you muted again. No more hot flashes in a week. I'm down 16 pounds and 26 inches. I've lost 20 pounds in 11 weeks. You guys, I love this. See, there's lots of people who have great results and they work. So you've lost 11 pounds. Awesome job, Rhonda. Well, you guys, this is incredible. We will get the recording off to you. Rhonda will have that. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will do this again. I promise. Okay. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you, Dr. Kristal.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.